And we are live.
Okay, I'll start with roll call. Councilman McPartlin, I see you're here. Supervisor Syed.
I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Chief Stevens is here. Deputy Supervisor Feminsky. Town Clerk Martin.
I'm here.
Town Clerk Martinelli. Let me see if I see her. I don't see that she's here. Attorney Briggs, I saw you. Judge Scagnelli, I saw you. Oh wait, not Judge Scagnelli. Judge Scagnelli?
He sent an email this morning, Chief. He's not going to be able to make it.
Okay, Judge Swinton. Executive Secretary Backus.
Here.
And Attorney Kim. PBA President Comanzo. Let's see him. Chief Lingenfelter, I see you. Comptroller Alam, I heard you on there. And you said Janet Wynn wasn't going to be here today, right?
That's right. Good morning, everybody.
I see Councilwoman McGraw. I think I saw.
Good morning.
Good morning. Anyone else on the call?
Rosemary's here.
Good morning. Rosemary.
Good morning.
And Elena Finnan.
Good morning, Elena.
Good morning.
Can we make a motion to accept December's minutes?
Motion to accept the minute.
Second?
I will second.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to start off with COVID. Right now we have 3 officers out. One is positive with COVID. The other 2 are pending test. One of those are ill right now. The other one is asymptomatic. So, you know, we've just really buttoned down in the police station and just asking all of our officers to be smart, both at work and off duty, because we can't afford to have anyone else get sick or be out of work. You know, it's here. It's spreading, you know, pretty rapidly in the Capital District. So I don't know about you, Dale, at the fire department. I'm probably pretty sure you're probably having you're seeing the same thing that we're seeing here. But
yeah, absolutely, Fran. We have one out now that is positive, and the other 3 off of their shift are in quarantine. Nobody's symptomatic, so we expect to get them back on Thursday. We transport COVID patients daily, probably 2 or 3 a day, I'm guessing, at this point. So it definitely is here. Fortunately for us, at this point, all of our EMS providers have received their first dose of the COVID vaccine. And we've gotten pretty much everybody in the agency that wanted it, which was the vast majority, short of a couple who don't quite meet the criteria to receive it yet. They're firefighter only, and they're in the next phase. So yeah, it's definitely here. We also have increased our in-house precautions.
okay, thanks. So we're in the second phase. We're in 1B. So they're not sure when that phase is going to start. I had initially heard the last week of December, but at this point they're not sure when that's going to start.
Yeah, most of our folks will go back for their second dose in late January. And just looking at the scheduling that we're allowed, where we go in and schedule our people. If I were to guess, I would say towards the end of January, I would expect to see the 1B get taken care of.
To start. Okay. Did you stagger your officers? Because I think that's what I'm gonna do. So that
Yeah, the recommendation, because when some people get the vaccine, they can have a reaction to it. It's not actually COVID. It's not a live vaccine, but some people get, we had reports of folks who were they were tired the following day, or real mild flu kind of like feeling, but nothing that couldn't easily be handled with over-the-counter stuff. So they recommended to us that we not schedule somebody for a vaccine the day before they were working, just to give them that day. Usually if they get any side effects from it, they clear up within a day or so. So we actually sent them down when they were on duty, knowing that they would be off the next day. And that seemed to work out pretty well. We didn't have any issues with that. Most of the reports were just some discomfort at the injection site, which is normal for most vaccines, and some fatigue from a few people. Most of us didn't really have any issues at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Next thing, I'm requesting a resolution to be drafted up to raise our annual alarm fee for 2021 by 70%, and this is to reach the 4% budget revenue challenge. This proposal will raise the annual fee for residential alarms to $51. Annual fees for commercial alarms will go up to $85, and the annual fee for outside audible alone alarms will go up to $127.50. Moving on to our police reform and reinvention. Our subcommittees have been meeting regularly, and we're actually getting a lot of good recommendations, a lot of good feedback at these meetings. We had one last night when it went for about 2 hours, but there was really a lot of good discussion that are going on in these meetings. On to fleet and equipment. The last of our new patrol cars has been upfitted and is in service. Requesting that the bid process be approved and initiated for acquisition of the 2 new patrol cars for the year 2021. When that process is completed, I'll request that a signed letter of intent from Supervisor Syed be prepared.
Fran, there has been some other documents that have gone out about 3 cars, 2 patrol cars, 1 administration car. So you're just looking for 2 patrol cars this year. Is that correct?
Well, so with the way I felt the way that we are in the financial situation that we're in, I felt like this year the police department could go without 1 admin car.
Okay. The judge just want to make that clear so we can, Ismat and Janet can make the necessary changes on some other documents that have been going out.
Sure, I'll do it today.
Thank you.
The installation of the new security lock system for the town hall building remains ongoing. And we started with the Police One Academy. The 3 classes for the month of December have been completed. It was anti-bias training for law enforcement, procedural justice, and implicit bias training. Citizen issues, we actually only had 1, and that was on Wyoming Avenue. And actually, Mike, are you on? I'm gonna let you kind of speak to this one because you ran the data on this.
Sure. Yeah, we were contacted via email. I believe it was Fran, Yasmin, and myself from Mr. Mastriani, who's been one of our main complainants over there. He was concerned that the speed sign that was deployed over there often said thank you, and he didn't understand the sign was malfunctioning. I explained to him that the sign says thank you when vehicles are traveling at the speed limit or below, so he was happy to hear that. And then based on that, I ran a report for the first month that that had actually been over there, and the numbers I thought were actually pretty good. It definitely looks like we have a volume issue. In 1 month of being there, that sign captured, it's only one direction, 10,992 cars in 1 month. The good news was, of those 10,992, 8,976 were traveling at the speed limit or below. There were only, let me see here, 1,990 were between 31 and 40 miles an hour, 22 were between 41 and 45, and 3 were in excess of 46. And that's in 1 month. So like I said, it does appear to be a volume issue. I think that's definitely a case over there. That's a tougher thing for us to solve, as this committee knows we talk about it frequently. But speed-wise, the sign is either A, working, or B, showing us that there isn't really a speed issue over there. There may be the car that comes down every so often at a higher speed, but we can't be everywhere every time. So that's an issue we run into. But overall, the numbers I thought were good. I don't know if anybody disagrees or has anything else to add.
And he had actually contacted you a second time and said that there was a couple Hondas that were trying to raise the speed on the sign.
Yeah, I actually, thanks, Fran. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was the second thing that he said. There were a couple vehicles that appeared to be trying to get the speed limit as high as they possibly could. That's when I ran the monthly report. And like I said, we only have 3 in a month that were traveling between 46 and 50. So I don't know. That doesn't really lend to people who are trying to get the speed as high as they possibly can. If there's only 3 of them in a month.
Mike, isn't there a setting on that you can, if it gets over a certain speed, that it just says slow down rather than indicating the actual speed?
Yes, that sign, I believe I have that sign set that from 30 to 35, it displays your speed. At 35, it tells you to slow down. It starts blinking slow down. And those signs also have a feature in them, and I want to say it's 38. I'd have to look at how we have it set. But there's a strobe light that comes on when you hit a certain speed that also grabs your attention. And I've tested it when we put these up to see, and it grabs your attention when that strobe kicks on. And I think it's 8 miles over the speed limit. So the sign is probably working, is what I think we're kind of getting at.
So Mike, I think what he's trying to get at is maybe we change the sign, the sign, so that they can't get it to show their speed, so they're not playing with the data on the speed sign.
Yeah, it already does that. That's kind of what I'm getting at. At 35, it gives you slow down. So I don't know what he's speaking of, because it won't display his speed.
Yeah, and that's something that I know you have done, so that people can't, make it a drag strip to see how fast they can go in that area, which is, it gets to a certain point and it does slow down, flashes, and the strobe comes on. So that's what I just wanted to clarify.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, so on to community events. In conjunction with Fire District 1, it was actually Fire District 1's, there was 2 holiday Christmas parades that went around actually Fire District 1's area, and actually ended at Pathways. Holiday Christmas parades. It was actually kind of cool. They had a Santa Claus in either their fire truck or one of their cars that just kind of drove around Old Niskayuna playing music. Kind of enjoyable for the residents. And then the PBA donated funds to the high school for needy families for the holiday season, and also distributed gifts in conjunction with the local public service organization for 4 needy families in the Schenectady area during the holiday season. Town clerk, I don't see that Michelle's on here. Okay, I guess we go into court issues.
We are still treading water. Obviously, the building is shut down, so we're not having regular court sessions, and Office of Court Administration has also limited any in-person appearances to arraignments and felony hearings. Most of the arraignments are being done virtually anyway throughout the entire county. So right now, we're trying to get a handle on what cases we can actually dispose of with remote appearances, virtual appearances, and it's difficult coordinating that with individual defendants and defense counsel and such. But right now, we're just waiting to reopen and gearing up for the second backlog that we'll start eating away at.
Okay. Okay, fire department?
Hi, yeah, first of all, Chief, thanks for the support on the Santa Walk. We had actually two vehicles out with Santas on them, and it went over very well. A lot of smiling faces, and the Pathways event, from what I gather, I wasn't there at that one, was very well received. So appreciate your guys' support for that. I think we covered everything else that's going on here. This is our COVID world right now. So that's all I have at this point.
Okay. Anything from school district? Nobody in from school but Brian. Nope. Okay, so on to personnel. So effective January 18th, my executive secretary, Andrea Hamilton, will be retired. She's presently on vacation until that time. The comptroller has figured out an interim service solution with, they're giving me part-time assistance with one of their employees. This is a pressing necessity to hire an executive secretary replacement for this vacated position as soon as possible. So I'm asking that we take steps to fill this position.
So we should post this position then and try to hire someone for that position.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a needed position.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
When we offered last year, in December, when we talked about the retirement incentive, it was based upon certain number of savings for the year. So, and that can be achieved either through delayed hiring or hiring at lower salary. So, Fran, if we can talk about it, I'm working remotely. If we can talk about it today or tomorrow, that would be great. Because the main thing was that when we talked to the board, the savings have to be shown for the next, bless you, Bill, for the next 2 years. So we can work out the numbers as far as the salary is concerned and the title.
Okay, that would be great. Then the next thing is, I've spoken with Detective Paul Hobson. He is also going to take the retirement incentive. He's advised me that he's going to retire by the end of January. So I'm going to again ask to hire the lateral placement candidate that I discussed in December.
Fran, there's paperwork or there's something, or Ismail, you can speak to this also, that, well, in this case, Detective Hobson or anyone else that wants to take that has to send to, I would think, HR, correct?
Right. They are supposed to send me a letter of intent in January, sometime in January, up till January 15th. So I received some, which I will not tell the names right now because of confidentiality, but I have not received any letter from the detectives yet.
Okay.
To be eligible.
Be reminded of
All right, I'll make sure that happens.
Okay, thank you. And once again, let's talk about the salary, the savings, the positions, because the resolution was based upon that.
Okay.
I think though, Fran's next thing is mod in here is about hiring this lateral, and due to the staffing that they're dealing with in the department, that this may be something that's necessary rather than waiting an entire, 9 months, year to get, a replacement.
Oh, I'm not talking about waiting for 9 months for this position, Bill. I'm not talking about that.
I'm just speaking about the next thing that she's speaking about, lateral placement candidate. I didn't
Oh.
mean that thing. That's just a point that I'm bringing out.
It's just the salary and where we start when we hire. So that's the only thing.
Yes.
Okay. And again, I'm discussing about lateral, the benefit is, a month and they're out on the road, ready to patrol. So, and that's pretty much all I have. Does anyone else have anything else?
Fran, I want to go back a little bit to the alarm monitoring and that. I just like a little bit more data on that, like when the last time those fees were changed. They seem pretty reasonable at sort of what you're putting forth here, but just a little bit of time frame on when the last time they were raised. And
So they were raised in 2019.
okay. I know that we've changed things because now we're not doing the monitoring. And how has that gone? The letters have gone out.
So letters have started coming in. I haven't had time to address those too much. They were going into Andrea. She started her vacation on, I believe it was December 21st. I haven't addressed those letters, the letters that are coming into me yet, because I want to hold off until we make the resolution on what the annual fee is going to be.
Okay, we
And
may
then-
coordinate that with Michelle because there's certain timing, I believe, on those.
Correct. Okay. Anything else? Does anyone need to go into executive session for anything?
Not that I'm aware of. Are you requesting that?
No. No. Okay, motion, anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
It's at 8:25. Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a great day.
What about the next meeting, Fran?
February 6th.
February 2nd at 8 a.m. And is there a second to adjourn?
I will second.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fran.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Have a good day.